Hello, everybody. Joe Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Monday, and the market is it's continuing its upward movement. We did have that follow through day on Friday, and so that's really good. The Nasdaq is moving higher, so is the S&P. The Dow not so much, but there's a lot of stuff breaking out. There's a lot of stuff getting ready. So it's a good time to come back into cash, at least for right now. That's what the charts are saying, anyways. And let's get into the show, and hopefully everyone is doing good. Um, basically, if you want to see this on, if you want to see the charts and everything, and you're watching on TikTok, super easy to do. Just go to bit.ly slash Dallas Trading Floor DTF 402, and that's the easiest way to get the questions because it comes right up on the screen. That way you'll be able to see all the charts and everything. We can't broadcast, unfortunately, the charts on TikTok yet. Still trying to figure that out technically, but on YouTube it comes through great. And also, if you're looking on LinkedIn or Twitch or some of the other platforms, it's easy also to submit questions. So thank you very, very much for that. Let's get into it. Basically, we are still in a confirmed uptrend. So that is indeed a good thing. It just, this is a good time to come back into the market. Just want to kind of show you, give you the idea of the indexes. The only major index that's off right now is the Dow, and that's off, just a little bit, 0.10, so not a lot on the Dow. The S&P's up, and the Nasdaq is up. The key here is that the Nasdaq had a follow through day that's very, very significant, and it means kind of good time to come out of cash, move back in. By the way, there's going to be another ETF that covers Bitcoin coming out tomorrow. So that's very interesting. The GBTC, which I have a position in, it's pulled back a little bit, but it's still doing pretty good. The market is in a confirmed uptrend. This was as of Friday. We definitely have a confirmed uptrend, and we have this follow through. So good time to get back into the market. Looking quite good actually, and hopefully we'll be moving up continuously from this point on. Typically, the last 3 months of the year, October, November, December, are the best months. So, hopefully we've come through the September's doldrums. They weren't too good, but in the early part of October, not so hot. But now maybe we're going to continue upward and higher. One of the stocks that I'd really like to talk about is Microsoft. Of course, I have a position in Microsoft. This did break out today. This is a very significant because Microsoft is sort of a proxy for the Nasdaq. So very, very important stock. Of course, this is not a bad time to come into Microsoft. It's not a super exciting stock. It's not going to go up. It's not going to double in 2 weeks or anything like that. But it's looking quite good. Off a little bit in after hours, but looking very, very good. And this is a good harbinger. The interesting thing about the relative strength is 81, which is very good because typically the bigger stocks like this don't have relative strengths this high. So it's trading definitely at the top, and it's definitely moving the indexes higher, especially the Nasdaq. So that's something that you might want to look at. Also, this is a big component of the QQQ trust, also which I hold, and this one is also a very good indicator of, at least for right now, it seems like capital is coming back into some of the tech stocks. Here's my portfolio. I did increase my position a little bit in AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. That's just at a breakout too. Microsoft, of course. Of course, I have a position in Salesforce. EOG Resources, that is an oil company, doing fairly well. Lending Club, that's a relatively new stock. Steel stock, Ternium TX, and then Hess, which is an integrated one. Hess is sort of on the bubble. I don't know much longer I'm going to be keeping it, but anyways, it's an integrated oil company, and they tend to be doing really very, very well right now. Just kind of want to show you everything that I'm currently in. EOG, it's down a little bit today. Not so much, about 0.16, not a lot. Of course, we talked about Microsoft. I'm also in CRM, which is Salesforce. It's down slightly, not a lot. AMD is up very strongly today, over 3%, so that's pretty good. Hess is down a little bit. TX is down a little bit. LC, which is Lending Club, down a little bit. Robert Half just continues to power higher. Really like the stock. We're off a little bit on the GBTC. This is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. MGM is up. The QQQ is up, and one of my big holdings that I did buy, that I just did buy today, is Fortinet, FTNT. I wish I'd bought. I'd had this one earlier, and it's up strongly, about 3.2%. So pretty strong on that, all the way around for Fortinet. Just wanted to show you. This is the stock of the day for the IBD. Interestingly enough, Fortinet. The buy point on it says 322.10. So I bought it pretty much right about at the buy point. And it's got a composite rating of 98. This one just is printing money right now. So in terms of the profitability, very, very good stock. FTNT, that's you definitely want to take a look at it. Now, it'll probably pull back and adjust a little bit tomorrow. Hopefully it'll stay above that buy point, that 322.10 buy point. That's my hope anyways. And hopefully it's going to be stronger moving forward. This one has just been a rocket ship. I mean, I had it last year, in the $100 level. It's tripled since then. So just shows you, you got to be patient sometimes. And I definitely have not been as patient as I need to be on a lot of these deals. So I need to be more patient in the future. So let's look at some of the comments. And thank you very much for holding here. And I hope you had a good weekend. Let's look at Apple and Tesla. Thank you very, very much for taking a look. See, and let's look first at Apple. Get up. AAPL, of course, is the symbol for Apple. And let's take a look here. The big issue with Apple, of course, is it's been reversing. This is a nice reversal. Really want to see it move though above this reversal line here at 150. It just seems to have, it's starting to get some power, but this relative strength of 58, just not doing it for me, unfortunately. I'm in Microsoft. I'm not in Apple right now, just because it just seems to be, of the two, this one seems to be the laggard. Just compare it to Apple, to Microsoft. MSFT, of course, is the symbol for Microsoft. This one, as you can see, is stronger. It's right at the buy point. And this one, if you're looking between, the only thing about Microsoft, it's got earnings in 8 days, and it could pull back definitely. I currently have a stop loss at two at uh, I bought this at 290. Currently have a stop loss at 280 on Microsoft. So I've been in this for a while, as it bounced off the floor here at 280. So that's that. I was in a little bit early. I may actually add to my position here, but definitely the problem, unfortunately, is Apple just isn't doing. Now Tesla's a different story. Tesla's woken up, and the key for Tesla was going past that, that 800 level, and it's way past it now. It's at 870. So it definitely is viable at this point. I mean, it's absolutely viable. Now, my only concern, of course, is that it is a little bit far above that 10-day line. Currently, it's about 7.7% above the 10-day line. You typically don't want to buy them that far extended. So I do think that we're going to probably see a pullback. We're probably going to see a pullback tomorrow on this. Who knows? I mean, who knows? Earnings are in 2 days. I wouldn't buy this before earnings. So really what you got to do with Tesla is just wait. And it's tough because this should definitely be on your watch list. This should definitely be on your watch list because I think we need to wait for it to go through earnings. This is, this is definitely a watch list here. This is definitely a watch list, but we gotta wait. We gotta just wait for earnings. And that's the biggie. If we wait for earnings, then I think, yeah, then I think, then I think we can, we can possibly buy it. And I definitely think this is viable. It does look like it's moving higher. And finally, we're up off the 200 day and we're up off the 40 day, the 21 day, the 10 day. My only concern is it's a little bit far extended above the 10-day line, but other than that, everything's looking very, very good on Tesla. So I think you definitely can buy Tesla at this level. Question on Neo. Let's take a look at Neo. See kind of where that stands. The problem with Neo, and this is kind of disappointing because this was such a good performer. Neo is still below that 200-day line. Just don't want to buy anything there. It's just too dangerous to buy it above below that 200-day line. It's just that's not a good place to buy it. It's making some progress, but still, it's just not ready. It's just not ready to go. So with Neo, I think we just gotta, we just gotta wait, and that's frustrating. So here's what I'd say with Neo. I think you just gotta watch list it for now. I just don't think you can really buy it. It's getting ready, but it's just not there, and it's not at the reversal line. So it's a tough one. I wouldn't buy Neo at this level. It just doesn't the chart doesn't look good on it. Okay, I have a question from TikTok. They're asking about Neo Peloton and Moderna. Let's take a look at Peloton to kind of see. I think it's PTON is the symbol. I have to remember this. Yeah, Peloton Interactive. Sure. Okay, for Peloton Interactive, same problem. Unfortunately, this was doing so well, but this is in a downward trend. So currently, with Peloton Interactive, I think you just got to skip it. I just think you got to skip it. It's just, every dog has its day, and so with Peloton, you just don't want to catch that falling knife. It's a falling knife with Peloton. Let's go over the weekly chart and see. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's starting to look a little bit like it might be. Now, it might be a head. It might be a shorting pattern. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. And this is actually classic because it's slightly below the left shoulder and it's starting and it's trading below the 200-day line. So I think that this one may be a potential short. I want to wait for it to come up to the I want to wait for it to come up to the 40-day line. So here's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to set an alert on Peloton, and I'm going to set an alert basically at the I'm gonna set an alert at the 40-day line. So the 40-day line for Peloton currently is 97.04. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set at 97.04. Uh, I'm going to put a note in there. Potential shorting level for Peloton because it does look like there is a potential if it does come back up to this line and it fails, you see, then it will move lower. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. It has relative strength of 6. That's really not that good. They do have some nice sales increases though, but they're still losing money. And it seems as if with the cash flow and everything, I'm just looking at this and seeing 56 checklist, industry sector. It's not bad, but it's just not looking as good. So here's my take on Peloton. Not good to be long on Peloton. Not good to be long on Peloton. It's just one of those things. I wouldn't catch a falling knife on this one, and you just got to be careful because it seems like Peloton is putting up a classic shorting pattern, which is called the Head and Shoulders, by the way, if you're interested in that. So you got to be real careful with Peloton. Let's see. Okay, great. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Disney from Samuel. Disney hasn't been looking good as of late. They've been increasing their costs at their parks, and I don't know if it's working so well for them, to be honest. Here's the weekly chart for Disney. We're in a consolidation range, so it's the lower part of the range. Now, if you did buy this, we would want to see it bounce off of that consolidation. The consolidation is about 169. Currently, it's at 172, so it's right at the level of the consolidation. Now, possibly you could buy this if and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new reversal line, and that basically goes from here and then through there, and that's your essentially your new reversal line. It's well below it, but I'm going to put that line in there. I'm going to put that line in anyways. This We've got to see a bounce on Disney. So right now, I just don't think you can buy it. I think you got to wait for a reversal on this, and that's really just the thing. You just got to you got to wait for a reversal. So that's kind of my take on Disney. I think you just got to wait for a reversal on this one, and when it moves above that reversal line, then I think you could possibly do it. But right now, I just don't think you can do Disney. It just doesn't look good to me. Doesn't look good to me. I have a question from TikTok, and this is a question on the Baba. Of course, that's Alibaba. Everybody knows that. And I did have a short open on Baba. I did close it. It was not a full short. It was a it was a bull bear put spread on it. I did close it. And I'm going to take a look at it. Yeah, it's starting see there was the profit zone for the bear put spread. I did close it. And it does look like it's getting some support at the 40-day line, but it still is in a downward trend. So my take with Baba is that it's just still in a downward trend, and so I would be careful. Be careful. So you really just got to be careful on Baba right now. It's in a downward trend, and it's just not a good buy. It's not good. It's typically you don't want to buy things as they're moving lower. I mean, yes, it's true. I mean, every once in a while somebody will buy like that, and then it will bounce and it'll go and it'll triple and it'll quadruple and will make a ton of money. But typically, it's not a good idea to buy anything when it's in a downward trend. And currently, Baba is in a downward trend, so I have to be kind of careful about that. All right, let's take the next question. Yeah, all right. Hey, happy Monday. Let's take a look at Uber. Thanks, Ricky. Thanks a lot, Ricky. Uber, Uber. Okay, Uber. Uber. Uber Technologies. Let's see if there's anything there to work with. Well, no, we're still below the 200-day line. We've got earnings in 7 days. Let's look at the checklist on Uber. 67, not too bad, not too bad. Would I enter it at this point? No, no, I would not. I would not enter this stock right now. I mean, even though it has moved above the reversal line, it tripped the reversal line. I'm still not convinced that Uber. Yeah, I'm still not convinced that Uber. I just think it needs to go above the 200-day line. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set an alert basically right at that 200-day line. And if it was above it, then I might be more interested. So I would be more interested in Uber if it moved above 50.28 because that's essentially the 200-day line. So I don't like to buy anything. I don't like to buy anything below the 200-day line. So let's see if it can get beyond the 200-day line. Then then it might be a buy. But you just don't want to buy below that because it just does not. It's just not a good practice. So below 200-day line stock is not viable. So this you just kind of got to do the you just have to do the the thing where it just isn't viable, and that's hard because right now Uber just isn't viable. It's too low on there. Okay, so let's see. Let's talk a little bit. What do you think about Bitcoin? Well, I think that it's going to be very interesting. I want to take a quick look at the GBTC, and I do have it. This is how I've been sort of playing Bitcoin. Um, it's equal to about 4% of the world's Bitcoin. It's off a little bit in closing. There is going to be a new offering tomorrow. It's coming out. There's going to be a new offering on Bitcoin. So the GBTC is finally going to get some competition, and we're going to see how it holds. I'm pretty bullish right now on Bitcoin only because there's just gonna there's a lot of inflation in the market, and a lot of people are buying Bitcoin, and it's moved above $60,000. So that's significant. Um, the relative strength is 97 on this ETF, which is very, very strong. And interestingly enough, we have funds that are holding it, 30 funds actually, and this is an ETF. This is very, very unusual for an ETF to be held by other funds. It's very, very unusual. It's because it's very difficult to get exposure to um, you know to Bitcoin directly. But this is very, very interesting. I want to look at the news here for Bitcoin because it is significant. Let's see if this will go. Yeah, there we go. So basically, what's happening here is that we're going to get we're going to get some competition, and Square is obviously going to come in. That's a good way to get exposure to Bitcoin. Also, so let's check out Square. I kind of want to look at how Square is trading right now and see see if there's anything there. I've had Square before. Um, it but I have not I have not had it in a while. It's in this consolidation, and I don't know. It's a very interesting stock because it does have a strong checklist, and it is definitely in the space in the Bitcoin space. Sales are up 143%, profits, and that's the key, 287%. So this is a wildly profitable company, and it's just one of those things. Just one of those things. All right. So let's take a look at some of the airline stocks. Here's the thing. I am not a particular as if you've watching me for any amount of time, you probably know that I am not a particular fan of the airline stocks. The reason why is because in general, I don't think they're going to be making money probably for 2 or 3 years. It just has been tough for them. But I want to look at American Airlines anyways. It's moving up, which I find amazing. I'm just very, very leery about this area. They definitely had some better sales than they had. They had been losing money. This is this. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Alcoa. Excuse me. American Airlines is AAL. Sorry, AAL, not AA. There we go. Yeah, American Airlines. Again, $19 stock. They lot sales are up, profits are down. I mean, it's not a good scene all the way. I mean, their cash flow is negative. They have the pilots may be walking out. It's a tough one. I mean, so I'm just really not that bullish on airlines. As you can see, the transportation airline industry just not very exciting. I mean, the best one in the group is Mesa, you know, and so I'm not. And again, it has a terrible chart too. So Mesa Air, it's a $7 stock. So I just can't get excited about the airlines. I think that I think that I mean, I just think it's a deadly. I think it's just deadly place to be right now is our airlines. I just man, they just the COVID thing threw them for a loop, and I don't know. It's a tough go all the way around with the airlines. So I'd be really careful on airlines. I mean, like, let's also look at Delta DIL. That's probably one of the best, but again, just not very, very good in my opinion. Yeah, again, not a particularly great chart, unfortunately. For I mean, their sales are up definitely, but they're still losing money, and it's just not good seeing. Look at their cash flow, -$7. Now with the price of fuel going up, if they're not hedged, they're going to be dead. I mean, it's just going to be tough. And of course, a few days ago, Southwest, um, they they uh, they canceled a lot of flights, so because of the COVID thing. So it just doesn't look good for the airlines. Let's look at Southwest just real quick. This is Southwest. Same problems. I mean, it's probably the best of the group, but it's still really not that good. Just the airline transportation just is not good. The best of the best is probably Ryanair. That's an Irish airline. It's sort of getting to a point where it could be considered viable, but I just, man, I just don't like this group at all. I just do not like this group at all. And I think it's gonna be very, very tough. I mean, I think you're gonna have really, really struggle to make money. Really, really, really struggle. All right, great question. Thank you for this. Where do you see the spider uh, in January? And of course, that's a good question for doing options. Let's take a look at the chart for the spider. And I do think we're gonna, it is interesting because oddly, I do think we are gonna go higher. Uh, Before the end of the year. I don't know if, it will be exact, but we are gonna go higher before the end of the year. This was the first vertical violation, and I watched the spider pretty carefully, and then it came down there, and then it tested again. So the floor right now is about 426, and it is headed higher. The question is, where will that see it? Well, if we were to just do kind of a really simple back of the napkin type of calculation, what we would do is we would draw a trend line here, and this would be the low. So, you know, out to November, theoretically, we should be showing, a 670, 670 range. But I'm not convinced that that's not going to be the case. I don't think it's going to go to 670. I think it's more likely to be about 665 in February. So I think it's going to be about 665. That's just based on just a rough. Um, that's based on a rough estimate of it. So I, I would say, you know, about six, about about 465. That's pretty conservative uh, on SPY by end of January. Not uh, barring a huge catastrophe, which where the whole market sort of sort of dies. But this is kind of where I see the spider about 465 by the end of January. That's kind of where I see it. It's about 465. There was a vertical violation here that's significant. This was the last one here, so I'm kind of putting these in. We did get some support at this 426 level. It does look like it's now moving higher, so it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be hard to get it up to 665, but that's sort of where I'm looking at by the end of uh, January, and I do think we're still in uptrend, so that is a good thing. All right. What do you think about Devon and PXD? These are both oil stocks, everybody. Let's look at PXD. This is Pioneer. PXD. And let's take a look. Pioneer Natural Resources. It looks like it's topping out a little bit. The only oil stock, well, I have two oil stocks. One is Hess, and the other one is PX is EOG. But I'm starting to see a little bit of fatigue in the oils, at least for this week. I want to look at EOG really quickly, and I haven't looked at it for a little bit. Yeah, okay, so we're right in the buy zone, so we're kind of right at the 10-day line. I do think this is likely to go higher. Oh yeah, it definitely is. See, look at this. It's higher in after hours. This is EOG. So this is EOG, and it's kind of been you know I bought it right before the pivot, and then we're up. So I do think this one look so it's still trading in a range. This is EOG. Let's look at Devon DVN. DVN was able to get rid of a ton of its debt. So it did do a bankruptcy. So this one I'm a little bit less bullish on. I did have a full position in this one. I bought it at 29, and then I've sold it since. I did pretty well in this one. I kind of just swing traded this one. Earnings are due in 16 days. I still think that this is possibly a good area, but I think really it's better to buy something that's in a in a buy zone. And EOG right now is in a buy zone. It is in a buy zone. So I do think that this one, EOG, is a little bit better just based on its pattern. Now it is a cup, and cups without handles can be problematic, but I think it's a little bit better than Devon. Let's kind of look at the. I want to look at the setups on all the stocks. This remains just a very very strong area. 3 out of 197. So I'm going to go over here to the industry groups and take a look to see. Okay. All right. And this is going to be last week's industry groups. Okay, so this is the third on the industry groups. This is the entire group, the oil and gas group. And this is you should really pay attention to this because this group is where we've seen a lot of strength. And it's been strong not just for a few weeks, but for a few months. Now there are some breakouts here. Let's look at no, this is consumer loans. Sorry about that. It's the wrong one. I want oil and gas E&P. That's actually number two. There we go. All right, so that's what we want to see. And let's look at the top ones. Viper. Viper's doing very well. Denbury Research. Okay, so that's got the highest relative strength. Matador. Let's see if Matador is in a buy. No, it's extended. That's unfortunate because that's a good one. Let's see if we can get. Let's look at Viper to see if that's buyable. No, that's extended too. So tough to figure this out. All right. Let's see if we can find. Um, Let me just see if there's anything in the buy zone, except for EOG. EOG's in yeah EOG. Okay, so this is the largest one. Is EOG now? PXD is not in the buy zone. No, it isn't. So my recommendation right now is, this is the biggest cap of the E&Ps in this area. This is the one I own. Is EOG. And it's heavy in natural gas, which is going to make it do very very well. Earnings are in 17 days, and it's in the buy zone, and it's a tight pattern. So this is the one I would kind of recommend looking at if you want to get exposure to EOG. Another way to get exposure would be to go with the Spider Select XLE. And I did have this one. I did sell it at a profit. This is another one that probably is this one still is probably one of the best ones to buy right now. Is the Spider Select XLE is the symbol on it, and it is set up very nicely. It's in a buy zone. This is an ETF. The advantage of buying this as opposed to like EOG or anything like that is that you get all of the stocks in one. So I do think that we haven't seen the last of we haven't seen the last of this area. So I do think I think the XLE is definitely something that might look good. All right, we've got a lot of people joining here. Oil stock NBR. I've never heard of this one. NBR. Let's look at NBR. NBR. And okay. Neighbors. Okay, yeah, yeah. This is interesting. This is one of the oil service companies. Good company, by the way. Very good company. It's sort of in the same area as Halliburton and Schlumberger. So this is a good company. This area has been sort of asleep a little bit. The oil and gas services has been a little bit asleep. Um, and this one, yeah, this one's not bad as well. This is not an oil company. This is an oil service company, so it's a little bit different. All right, I'm almost probably. Let's take the next question, Spider. Yeah, good afternoon. Let's look at Mark. Disney looks weak, but I added it today. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely add here, but I just it looks weak to me too. So that's kind of where I'm at on it. Oh, is ZM breaking out? This is Zoom. ZM. Zoom video. Is it breaking out? No, that's not a breakout, unfortunately. Um, but it does look like it's gathering strength. It has a relative strength of 7, which is very low. So this one you just gotta wait on. This one was doing so great, but I think it's adjusting. I'm not saying it's going away, but I just think with this one you gotta be careful. So here's my thing on Zoom. I would wait for a reversal on this one to buy. And the question is, where is the reversal? Well, the reversal is right about here. It's going to be the reversal line, I believe, is right about 332. So you got a long way to go here. You got a long way to go with Zoom. So you really have to wait until we're up to about 335. I mean, that's the only way you can do it, and it's at 273 right now. So I would just wait on that. Just not the right time for it. Um, hopefully it'll get a little bit stronger. And yeah, there we go. Hi, Jim. I hope you had a great meal. I did. I did. How do you feel about Macy's? You know, I I kicked myself on Macy's because I had Macy's, very big fan of it, and I sold it into strength, and I thought, "Oh, I've done really great," and now it just gaps up. So it just shows you sometimes you can't do it all. I think it's great. I think Macy's, if they do an online thing, I think they're gonna be formidable. I think they're gonna be formidable because people love to shop at Macy's. I shop at Macy's. Not that that matters, not that that would change anything, but, you know, Macy's, if they can get their online play correct, I think Macy's could be huge. I think it could be absolutely huge, much bigger than it is now. So, I'm very, very, I'm I like I like what Macy's is doing. I like what Macy's doing. Now I sold it. I shouldn't have. I let it run up here. I run right up here to 25, and I thought, "Oh, I'm so smart." And I sold it, and then it came back down, and then boom, it's back up again. So it is strong, and it's probably going to go higher. So if I was in Macy's, I wouldn't buy it here for myself because it's extended. But if I was in Macy's, I would just push that stop loss right up. Congratulations. That's a very, very good. That's very, very good. Very, very good. All right, let's look at Visa and PayPal. Let's look at Visa first. And I'm currently not in Visa. I was in Visa. I got stopped out, and it's okay. It's definitely moved above that reversal line. So in that sense, it's good. In that sense, it's good. It's above the 200-day line. It's above the 40-day line, which is excellent. The question is it going to move higher? I don't know. I had a full position at 227. I got stopped out, which stinks. But I do like the stock overall, but it has a real strength of 49. I just, you know, after getting burned a few times, I'm going to go with stocks that have a little bit more relative strength, a little bit more power in the relative strength. And unfortunately, that is not the case with Visa for right now. PayPal, probably a little bit different. Let's look at PayPal. See, yeah, it's one of the nice things. If you really got if you really, as you can see, I've been playing this. I basically have been waiting for this, and I got stopped out here. I mean, I was in it, and then I got stopped out. We've cleared we've now cleared the 200-day line, which is looking good. So now we can start possibly coming back in it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redraw the reversal line. So it's above the reversal line. So this would be a very aggressive entry right here for um, for PayPal. But here's the thing: I just want to see more relative strength than it's got. It's only got a 51 relative strength, so I would watch this one right now. Unfortunately, I think there's other better ones that are better set up. I still like it a lot, but I just think you got to watch list it. Just watch list it right for now. That's really the only thing you can. That's the only thing you can do on it. That's the only thing you can do on it. All right, we're coming to some of the last questions. Let's look at. All right, let's see. If it runs a buy net the day before, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Mark, I really like that. That's a good idea. Let's look at LAC. Okay, see LAC. See what we've got here. Lithium Americas. This is, these lithium plays are really interesting. I'm not any of them in currently, but there is one that I would kind of like to show you. It's not, it's probably not going to move like Lithium Americas. It's Albemarle, ALB, and this is one of the largest miners in the world. And I think that this is actually better set up than Lithium Americas, to be honest with you. Um, this one I do like. It's Albemarle, and um, it's it says it's in the specialty chemicals, but they are also in lithium too. The thing about Albemarle is that they're a big supplier to the battery companies, so that's why I like them. This is the one I think you might want to look at if you want a lithium play. Would be Albemarle. So, all right, and this is probably the last one for today. Let's look at NET. NET. All right. Cloudflare, boy, look at that. And I've owned this a bunch of times too, and I just didn't get back into it. I need to start eating my own dog food here. This is just looking very good. I couldn't buy this right now just because it's extended. This is the buy point on a consolidation base at 95.77. So this is just a little bit. It's a little bit extended right now. I like the stock a lot. I wouldn't buy it at this level. It's just extended. So I don't like to buy extended. That's one of my things because it can really hurt you if it goes against you. So, um, right now this stock is extended. So I'd be careful. I would not buy it. I would not buy it. I would wait. It's always easier to wait. But I would wait on this one. Okay. Mark has a question on CCJ. Let's get CCJ. And that's Chemco, and that's uranium. And this is another area that I have not been in, and a lot of people have done great in this area in uranium. Um, the thing is the Kazakhstan. Okay, yeah, this is the one with the Kazakhstan. This is probably the one out of the uranium place because this is it's a Canadian company, but they have this uranium mine in Kazakhstan, which is a good deal. So I kind of like this. It's extended though, unfortunately. See, the ideal place it would have been by at about 24. So I don't know. You could probably do very well in this, but I would be super careful. It's earnings in 11 days. I would wait for earnings. Um, you know, right now what I would do is I would watch this one and you know, you know, um, I'd watch this and I would just wait for earnings. So just I think the most important thing with this one with Camco is to just wait for those earnings. Wait for those earnings. That's I think what you got to do. I think that's what you got to do. All right, let's look at Lucid. I have. Thank you very much. Um, let's look at Lucid and see if there's anything there. It's I have not. The EV space is getting kind of crowded right now, and even though it is sort of the future. It's tough. The biggest problem that I see with Lucid, I don't think that they have made an actual vehicle. So I am a little bit leery. There is a buy point on it though. Cup with handle at 28.39. 28.39. But you know what? I would just be careful on this one. I want to see. I just need more conviction. I just need more conviction. I'm gonna draw an alert on a reversal line there. But gosh, I just need more conviction on this one before I would buy. So I would watch this one. I would not be a buyer. I'd not be a buyer of this one right now. Just I think it's a good time to watch this one. And it's just that's kind of what you got to do. That's kind of what you got to do on it. Okay, let's take a few more questions and then NUE, very good question. I bought ABC today and Lucid. That's interesting. Okay, well, I wouldn't have bought Lucid. I just nothing against it, but I just didn't like. I don't like the chart. Let's look at ABC, ABC, ABC. Okay, ABC. Oh, Bergen. Okay, well, yeah, it's okay. It's in a downward trend. Very big company. The medicals have not been doing well as of late. Currently, medical supply and wholesale, it is in the bottom part of the. It's in the bottom of the. Bergen is 174 out of 197. So definitely money is not moving into the sector of the economy. So I'd be really careful with that. Um, I would really be careful with that. Bergen. Let's look at NUE. That's Nucor Steel. I do have a steel company. It's not doing as well as I'd like it. It's in you. In it's in. It's TX. Yeah. Okay. So it's below the 40-day line. Yeah, it's doing okay, but not as good as it was. Let's look at. I want to look at TX. This is the one I have. Ternium. Yeah, it's down a little bit today, but it looks like it got support, and it closed. Okay, so that's good. So it closed at basically the 21-day line. So it looks like it got some support. I may be. If this one moves up, I may get rid of this one. Just I don't like the action on this. It just seems like the steels aren't doing as well as I thought they would have. Okay, well, everybody, thank you so very, very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to take a look at my show. And just wanted to tell you a little bit more, of course, about Dallas Trading Floor. Super easy to get on the Action Trade Alerts list. If you are looking, just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com, first and last name and email address, and that's our free list. Going to probably put out the watch list tonight. I'm hoping. Hope I'll get that done out. And if you are, let's see, if you are looking on TikTok, super easy to get on that email list. Just go to my profile, click the link, and first and last name, and you'll get right on it. And if you want to pick up that the watch list that I'm going to be putting out, that's easy to do too. I should have a link for that soon, probably in about an hour or so, on the so just keep checking back, and it should say link to watch list. Well, everybody, wait a minute. I have one more question. Thank you very much. Oh, hey, and don't forget, just thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So, thank you so much. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that right up now because I definitely need that. I need help when it comes to that. So please smash that like button. Please, please, please. I appreciate it. That helps me stay on the air. And everybody, happy trading, and I'll see you tomorrow at 3:30. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. And any questions, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And also, we do have a Discord room too, and that's available as well. So Till tomorrow at 3:30. I will see you then.